I'm Phil Little, the host of the Private Investigator Experience. Our normal weekly podcast deals with what is the life of a private investigator. And we look at cases, talk to people in our field, as well as some of our team members. But in this post, I would like to alert you to an issue that you might not be thinking a lot about. Maybe you've heard about it, but it is a threat to our future security. Might I say this, that our country of America is in trouble? Would you help us by subscribing to our channel and sharing it with your friends? I believe that one could make a difference, and that one you share it with might start something in their community that could turn it around. Getting questions about the time we are living in and what I think is going on from my investigative background out around the world and my biblical worldview. Over the past 25 to 30 years, I think the generation growing up in America has lost touch with our history and the history of the world. Those that have provided textbooks and training for our schools decided that they didn't need all this truth and history for the children. They needed to rewrite it to their own liking. So they set out to change the history lessons. So today, so many of our young people are uninformed. They can't ask basic questions about our history. Let me say this. I think we're just a little ignorant about who we are, where we came from. And because of that, we can see our freedoms slipping away very quickly. Well, I get asked, where does our freedom come from? I believe the sentence from the Declaration of Independence, and the writers put this in that declaration, and I quote, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. They are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and among them are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." Well, some say that, well, when that got put in the Constitution as the Bill of Rights, then that was men that gave us our rights and freedom. But let me submit this to you. If it was men, then men can change their mind, and what men give us, they can take away. God doesn't change his mind. So I would suggest that it would be better to follow the examples of that Declaration of Independence, because if man gives it to us, they can take it away. And we're seeing that happen in 2023. How's your speech today? Your free speech. Let's say on a viewpoint that those in power don't like. Or you go to a school board who doesn't want to hear how you want your child to be raised. My fellow Americans, our freedoms are on the way out if we don't wake up. We will soon be serving a worldly master. I want to give you something to think about on this issue of the minds of our children. Now, you might be saying at this point, who are you to tell us to be aware of the attempts to take away our freedom and change the education of our children? Well, I'm not just a local PI working local cases. I have a military, police, intelligence, and global security background. I've worked out around the world, and my interest in what's going on in the world started in 1978 in my first trip into southern Lebanon. I saw firsthand the dangers and excesses of terrorism and extremism as there were thousands of Christians being slaughtered in southern Lebanon. Since that time, I've been in over 30 countries of the world, investigating as well as talking to citizens and people in those countries. I found out firsthand about how they went from being free in many of those countries to becoming under government control, and they have no freedoms now at all. In this post, I want to focus on one of the top agendas that dictators or Marxists or people who want to take our freedoms away, they like to use. You can check history like I have. And you can see all the way back in our societies that there have been different tools that dictators have used. It could go back thousands of years. It can come up to Stalin and Lenin. and then on through Hitler and others more recently. But they've used corrupting the minds of children, and they found that to be very effective. They've even said that if they can take charge of the elementary training education of children within that generation of those children coming up, they can have them so brainwashed to socialism and Marxism that they can take over a country. They're using our children as tools of evil against us. My fellow Americans, have you watched what is going on in recent years and how it has accelerated in 2023 to a speed we never thought possible? And if we parents try to intervene in a children's education, go to a school board, we get threatened with arrest or taking our children away. I remember an old saying that I heard as a child growing up on the farm in Missouri when I think about this serious consequence of uh, our children's education and where we're at in losing the total control of our children's education. That old saying was, well, I've got one foot in the grave and another foot on a banana peeling, and I'm on a downhill slide. Well, folks, we're on a downhill slide towards losing total control of our country and the minds of our children. If you have children in the school, even in private school, have you checked on the books and curriculum they are being taught? Parents and citizens, are you in the fight? This is just one of the battlegrounds, but this is for the minds of our children. Or are you just like so many of us, so busy? You're surviving week by week. I know it's tough out there. These times are desperate. But this is what those who would take away our freedoms want us to do. Keep distracted by just trying to survive while they take control of our children's mind. You might think that I'm a conspiracy nut. Well, I happen to know quite a bit about conspiracies, as from my background and resources that I still have. I'm pretty good at finding out where the conspiracies are at and which ones are just talk. But my purpose is to get you to do some independent investigation to see what is going on in your children's education and in your community. I'll be back with more on this subject of taking control of our country by those that would like to control us. If you would you subscribe and share this with your network? As I said before, I believe that one can still make a difference. Until next time, be safe. God bless you, and may God bless America. See you next time.